Welcome, my friend, welcome. Whether by accident or by design, you have stumbled into the Baloney Shop, one of the web's prime pointer outers of ungodly gibberish and garbage, of unholy hogwash, hokum, and humbug, of religious bull, bunkum, and baloney.
Very catchy. Have you thought of having that put to music?
In truth, no. How may I help you today?
Well, you can explain the crucifix. I've been coming here for my baloney for some time now, and I've never noticed the crucifix before.
Well, it's always been here, but it's never been displayed so prominently before.
And what caused you to display it so prominently now?
Well, easy question. Tom Calora Jr.
Okay, but you gotta give me more than that.
Tom Calora Jr. has worked for Schnucks grocery stores for over 40 years. They are a good company and they hire good people for their 106 stores. Tom, Catholic, one of their best employees. When he asked them if he could display an article of personal faith in the new store he was managing, the company said by all means.
Well, his faith may be one of the reasons he's a good manager.
You know, faith can make a difference for people. That's an opinion many employers share.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is some people don't like a crucifix.
What's their objection with that?
Well, one lady, she wrote, the crucifix seems so out of place. It would have been equally startling if there had been a Star of David or an emblem of another religion. It's grocery shopping. It's supposed to be welcoming to all and exclude none.
Did that get you angry?
Oh, no, not at all. But I don't think the lady thought through her objection.
Why's that?
Well, almost every grocery store I know has a Star of David in it, or some other symbol. Here's one that we've had in our shop, or a whole bunch of these.
So what are those symbols?
Well, they're signs. They're signs which say these foods are kosher, suitable for use in a Jewish home. I don't think anybody's startled to see stores allowing kosher foods or their symbols.
Was that the only problem with the crucifix?
Oh, no. An atheist said the crucifix was disrespectful. He also said it's bad taste, it's bad business. Who wants to shop where someone else's faith is being pushed down your throat?
Is Tom doing that?
Of course not. The Schnucks company would never let any of their managers push religion down somebody's throat. You don't keep an employee and you don't promote an employee for 40 years if he does something like that. On the other hand, and speaking only for myself, I'm not too keen on shopping in a place where an atheist's lack of faith becomes the standard.
Now, I would assume those are the only objections to the crucifix.
Oh, then you would assume wrong. A couple of folks said since the store's funding came from tax credits and the Missouri Development Finance Board owns the building, the Constitution's First Amendment separation of church and state limitations ought to kick in here.
Now, I'm not a church-state expert, but this sounds nuts.
Nuts is a good term, but here we prefer to use the term baloney. The Constitution promises freedom of religion, not freedom from religion. There's a difference there. There's a big difference there.
That's a tremendous difference. So, how do you feel about the whole thing?
At a lot of levels, I think it's baloney.
A lot of levels?
Oh,
How
yeah.
so?
Level one, the historical. These people live in St. Louis. St. Louis is named after Louis IX, the King of France, the guy who twice went out on crusades. He fought, he shed blood, he did all kinds of warlike things in the name of the cross. We named the city and county after him. Maybe these folks had better fight to get a new name, a non-Christian name for St. Louis.
Now, you said levels. That means there's more.
Oh, yeah, there's the architectural level. You know, if you want to get rid of the cross, you've got to be careful. You've got to start looking around. Here's a picture of the Capitol building, the state of Missouri. Notice anything?
Well, it's a cross.
Oh, it is by accident. No, I really don't think so. Yeah, there's a cross there. Maybe if we're getting rid of crosses, we better start building ourselves a new state capitol building. Then there's, this. Memorial from the World Trade Center. This is what it says about this cross on the plaque there. It says, a sign of comfort for all. Better get rid of that too, huh? Then, of course, it's time to replace doors. We've got some of these in the Bologna shop. 6-panel door. You know what it's called? You know another name for this type of door is?
Not a clue.
It's called the Cross and Open Bible Door. It was designed to preach a message to anyone who used such a door. Better get rid of these in all public places. Don't try for a 4-panel door either. That's not any better.
Now, is there anything else?
Yeah, if you're going to get rid of crucifixes and crosses, there are a number of places and people I'd like to have put on the list. Let's see, there's probably Ozzy Osbourne and Paris Hilton and Peter Criss and Elton John and Shannon Doherty and Jim Morrison and Lindsay Lohan and Alice Cooper and Mini-Me. And as always, Madonna, who wears crosses and poses on them with a crown of thorns. If you think a cross or crucifix looks out of place anywhere, I think it's there.
Quite a list.
And I wonder if anybody might want to speak to Prime Minister of Russia.
Vladimir Putin?
Yeah, he often wears a cross. I think we better talk to him about displays of his faith.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, and I don't either. That's baloney, isn't it? No, these folks are just going to pick on good workers, employees whose faith helps them do their best. Men like Thomas Collara Jr., who said, "The crucifix is an opportunity to share a part of myself and my life with people I work hard to serve every day." Hey, where you going? Don't you want any bologna?
I got all the bologna I need. I'm going to go do the rest of my shopping at Tom's store. I think I'd like to do business with a man of faith like that.
Yeah, shouldn't we all?
You too can become the baloney expert and have your picture hung on the wall. If you find a news story you think is an obvious bunch of baloney, email your story to ken.klaus@lhm.org. If your story is used in a Baloney Shop episode, we'll hang your picture in this honored spot.